Hello, I'm Craig Brailsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with executives of two public companies. First up is bioAffinity Technologies. bioAffinity Technologies addresses the urgent need for non-invasive, accurate, early-stage cancer diagnosis and broad-spectrum cancer treatments. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths. The company's first product, CyPath Lung, improves early-stage detection of lung cancer, leading to increased survival, fewer unnecessary invasive procedures, reduced patient anxiety, and lower medical costs. CyPath Lung, a laboratory-developed test, is patient-friendly and physician-focused. Physicians order CyPath Lung for their patients after lung cancer screening or other imaging reveals a suspicious finding. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Up next is GRRR Technology Group. GRRR Technology Group is a global leader in AI-based IIoT, or Industrial Internet of Things, with a strong emphasis on security convergence, video analytics, and big data. Leveraging over 22 years of innovation and industry expertise, GRRR provides transformative solutions that enhance the safety, efficiency, and operational capabilities of smart cities, smart ports, smart buildings, and more. The company's proprietary technologies empower clients across both public and private sectors by offering predictive insights and robust network defense, driving the next wave of digital transformation. With a footprint spanning over 7 countries and 29 granted patents globally, GRRR Technologies is well positioned to accelerate revenue growth as it creates secure, intelligent environments that address the complexities of modern urban life and industrial operations. We'll learn more when we speak with the CFO later in the show. Before we dive into our first interview, let's take a moment to recognize some of RedChip's top performers in 2024, including RedCat, up an incredible 1,293% in 2024, Alliance Entertainment, soaring by 842%, GRRR Technology, which gained 250%, and Nova Minerals, up 149%. These companies have demonstrated the immense potential of the small cap market. Looking ahead to 2025, RedChip has also unveiled its top 25 small cap stocks to watch. This curated list includes names like Venue Holding Corp, VENU on the NYSE American, Trinity Biotech, TRIB on the NASDAQ, and Nutraband, also on the NASDAQ, trading under the ticker NTRB. To learn more about why these and other exciting small cap stocks made it onto our 2025 list, visit redchip.com and download the full report. Now, let's move on to our quote of the week. It comes from the book Small Stocks, Big Money. The most important lesson I've learned working in the microcap space is that winners are winners and losers are losers. Stick with the ones that are working and don't make the mistake of exiting too early. This quote comes from Michael Corbett of Parrot Capital Management, and it is featured in Chapter 2 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's get started with our first interview today with bioAffinity Technologies. Hello, today we have Maria Zanes, President and CEO of bioAffinity. bioAffinity Technologies trades on the NASDAQ under the ticker BIAF. Maria, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Same here, Maria. Lung cancer is a leading cause of cancer-related deaths worldwide. How does your flagship product, CyPath Lung, address the challenges of early detection and what makes it a game changer?
Well, it's a very good question. Lung cancer, as you said, is the leading cause of cancer deaths worldwide, and particularly in the United States, because it's caught, unfortunately, at late stage. And what CyPath Lung does, our test, is to detect at an earlier stage when you can have better treatment. Groundbreaking nature of it is twofold. One, it's a non-invasive test. So it's a test that people can collect their sample at home and then ship to the lab. And then it is also uses AI. So it's a very standardized test that's able to look at whether someone has a malignancy in the lung or does not.
Now, CyPath Lung was initially piloted in Texas. It's now expanding, Maria. Elaborate, please, on that expansion strategy, especially what can we expect in the next 12 to 18 months?
Well, you're right. We started in Texas. We decided to see in our own backyard how well we do. We did extremely well. Of course, Texas is a big backyard, so we were very pleased to see the adoption and the test and how well month after month we were able to increase sales and adoption of the test. We recently were awarded listing on the federal supply schedule, which allows us to sell to more than 1,300 different healthcare facilities for the U.S. military and the Veterans Administration. So I think you will see us expanding into that national market and then into strategic markets as well next year.
Speaking of government, Maria, the Department of Defense has already purchased CyPath Lung for observational studies. What potential opportunities would this partnership open up?
We see continued expansion of our work with the Department of Defense, including the Veterans Administration and the military hospitals. Not only for research, as you mentioned, we do have a pivotal trial coming up next year for CyPath Lung, going after a larger trial of 2,000 or more patients. Our national principal investigator will be Dr. Michael Morris of pulmonology at Brooke Army Medical Hospital, which is the largest military hospital in the nation. So we look at expansion, both from a research standpoint to look at moving CyPath Lung into more screening modality. And we also look at them as partners as we move forward for CyPath Lung as a test, as it is now, used for people who have pulmonary nodules and moving forward.
Turning now to the leadership of your great company, Maria, and I just wanted to point out your company has 35% insider ownership, a very good number, indicating strong belief by the leaders in the future of your company. Introduce us to the whole team.
We have a very strong team of not only experienced individuals, but those who have taken to market tests like CyPath Lung. Our chairman of the board, Steve Girgenti, was the founder and developer and indeed the head of what became Ogilvy Health, which was the largest health marketing company in the world. And so Steve is very much involved, but our other board members are equally experienced. Our finance chair, for example, Stuart Diamond, is the CFO of Group M, which is a $50 billion company. So we have strong financial leadership. Talking about financial leadership, we have our CFO, Mike Edwards, just joined us. He had been very much involved with the company through its IPO. So I'm very happy to have Mike Edwards back, who has a strong background with public companies. And of course, we have a strong science team headed now by Bill Bauta, who comes out of Ilex, Genzyme, J&J, very much focused on bringing new tests to market. And while we're on the topic, we have a great science team that is looking at additional tests. So it will not be just CyPath Lung we bring to market. We're looking at tests for COPD, for example, which is equally large as lung cancer as a pulmonary disease needing help in early diagnosis.
All right, Maria, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Give us the essential value proposition. Why should investors take an interest in bioAffinity right now?
First and foremost, we have an excellent management team, we have an excellent science team, we have a very strong clinical team here at Precision Pathology, which is our subsidiary and laboratory. But I also believe we have a very strong future. You've seen continued and significant growth over this year with CyPath Lung, and also with the overall lab, the consolidated company itself we're projecting to meet our very strong forecast for this year. And I think in addition to the strong team, the strong management, the strong, bright future, we also are bringing new things to market. So this is an innovative team that is not going to stand still. It's going to keep moving.
Maria, it's a great story, very inspiring. Thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you very much. I very much enjoyed it.
Now, to get more information on bioAffinity technologies, visit biafinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like bioAffinity Technologies. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book written by RedChip's CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's move on to our next interview today with GRRR Technology Group. Hello, today we have Bruce Bauer, the interim Chief Financial Officer of GRRR Technology Group, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker GRRR. Bruce, welcome.
Thank you, Craig. Pleasure to be here.
As CFO, Bruce, how do you approach aligning GRRR's financial strategy with its rapid growth and evolving market opportunities?
Yes, so the most important thing is that we need cash in order to grow the business. So the priority has been to keep a large cash buffer, so a minimum of 15 million of unrestricted cash. That allows us to take on new contracts, and then it also allows us to have excess to invest in new market opportunities, so exploring sales, marketing in new areas, and also spending on innovation.
That cash reserve is quite large, more than $40 million, Bruce. What is your strategy for balancing capital allocation between growth initiatives, innovation, and shareholder returns?
Yeah, so we look at basically the business development pipeline. Right now, it's over $1.5 billion. And we judge from that what we think are near-term potential wins and basically how much cash we would have to set aside in order to win those contracts and deliver on them. When we have $40 million in cash reserves, it's a little bit lower today, but about high 30s. What we're thinking is that most of that will be allocated towards growth. And then we have $6 million buyback allocated, and then the rest we're going to put into R&D. In the future, we'll keep the same discipline where the vast majority of it will go into growth. Anything excess will go first to innovation, to R&D, to keep the product portfolio growing. And then, as and when, we'll allocate it to shareholder returns.
Bruce, you also have substantial contract assets and financial assets. Now, how do you manage those to support your operational and strategic goals?
Yeah, just to define them, contract assets really mean unbilled revenue, and we're going to report them as such in the future. Basically, we perform work, we recognize the revenue as we perform it, it goes into contract assets. What we're trying to do is really to bill as fast as possible. As soon as the milestones in our contracts permit us to bill, that starts the cycle where that contract asset gets converted into cash. In terms of the financial assets, the vast majority of those financial assets have been and will continue to be guarantees in front of our customers. So, the financial assets number will expand over time as we invest in new guarantees, towards new contracts. On the other hand, we like to keep it, we like to smooth it and manage it down where possible, because that releases cash that goes into the business. And that's actually the cycle we're in right now at the end of 2024, beginning of 2025.
Gorilla's improvements, Bruce, in gross margin and operating profit are noticeable. How are you working to sustain and build on these achievements as you scale?
So in terms of operating profit, we're really seeing the operating leverage kick in, where we have the infrastructure necessary to service double the business that we're doing now. So the key becomes really winning new contracts and then getting the gross margin up. In terms of the gross margin, we have a lot of financial discipline that we're now putting or reasserting into the contracts that we look at and that we win. So that includes, a revised rate card to make sure that we're charging market rates, a revised contracting approach where we have certain targets in terms of revenue size, gross margin, et cetera, that we expect to see out of contracts. And together, along with an improved product mix, shifting towards software, this should keep our gross margins expanding.
I want to turn now to that share buyback program, Bruce. $6 million share buyback program, undeniably reflecting confidence in Gorilla's valuation. How do you balance these initiatives with investments in future growth?
Yes, so in September, we had up to $40 million of free cash, unrestricted cash, and we judged that we didn't need all of that in order to service the business. We also thought that the share price was quite undervalued, and we wanted to send a message to the market that we weren't issuing new shares, rather we would prefer to buy them back. So that reflects confidence in the valuation being low and our prospects. But basically, when we judge that the share price is low and also that it doesn't in any way compromise future growth in the business, that's when we allocated, and that's when we will allocate in the future, money to return to shareholders.
Give us some of the key initiatives you've got going right now to optimize cash flow while maintaining that focus on scaling and, of course, innovation.
It comes down to the discipline for how we manage existing contracts and new contracts. So for existing contracts, it means billing as soon as we can those contract assets or unbilled revenue to turn that into billed revenue and then collecting on the receivables. It also means managing our payables, our prepayments and our payables on those contracts, so that we get as much float as possible. For new contracts, we're really looking at two things. One is the timing of investment from our side. So obviously, if we can minimize or delay the cash going out from our side, and then also when we expect customers to pay us. The other thing is that we're looking at new initiatives, basically to minimize the cash that goes out to service new contracts. One is, for instance, using surety bonds instead of cash guarantees. It costs a little bit more on the P&L, but it saves a tremendous amount of cash.
Okay, Bruce, we have covered a lot of financial metrics in this interview. In your opinion, what are the most important indicators that investors should be monitoring to understand Gorilla's progress and potential?
Yes, so the ones that you would monitor in any growing technology business, so it would be the growth metrics, and it would also be the gross margin and the operating margin or the EBITDA margin. The last one that we pay a lot of attention to is cash flow, and this can be both free cash flow and then operating cash flow as a percentage of EBITDA. In 2025, we expect, due to the release of some guarantees to our end clients, that our EBITDA to free cash flow or to operating cash flow conversion will be greater than 100%. And that's that means that the business is growing in a very cash generative fashion. So that's what we like to focus on.
Sounds compelling, Bruce. Thanks for explaining everything to us today.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, happy to talk about Gorilla anytime.
Now, to get more information on Gorilla Technology Group, visit GRRRinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RED-CHIP to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Gorilla Technology Group. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can order Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon for $18. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met bioAffinity Technologies, BIAF, on the NASDAQ. bioAffinity Technologies addresses the urgent need for non-invasive, accurate, early-stage cancer diagnosis and broad-spectrum cancer treatments. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths. The company's first product, CyPath Lung, improves early-stage detection of lung cancer, leading to increased survival, fewer unnecessary invasive procedures, reduced patient anxiety, and lower medical costs. CyPath Lung, a laboratory-developed test, is patient-friendly and physician-focused. Physicians order CyPath Lung for their patients after lung cancer screening or other imaging reveals a suspicious finding. Learn more at www.biafinfo.com. Then you met Gorilla Technology Group, GRRR, on the NASDAQ. Gorilla Technology Group is a global leader in AI-based IIoT, with a strong emphasis on security convergence, video analytics, and big data. Leveraging more than 22 years of innovation and industry expertise, Gorilla provides transformative solutions that enhance the safety, efficiency, and operational capabilities of smart cities, smart ports, smart buildings, and more. The company's proprietary technologies empower clients across both public and private sectors by offering predictive insights and robust network defense, driving the next wave of digital transformation. With a footprint spanning over 7 countries and 29 granted patents globally, Gorilla Technology is well positioned to accelerate revenue growth as it creates secure, intelligent environments that address the complexities of modern urban life and industrial operations. Learn more at www.grrrinfo.com. Don't forget, check out our stocks page. It is the biggest small-cap stock portal in the industry. Every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with market caps of $2 billion and less. And it's categorized by industries. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Be sure also to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small-cap companies. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RED-CHIP or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies. So please, always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting, emerging growth companies.
Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths. Now bioAffinity, a NASDAQ company, is commercializing CyPath Lung, a groundbreaking, non-invasive early detection lung cancer test, addressing a market projected to reach $4.7 billion by 2030. Now, a new peer-reviewed study shows using CyPath Lung can significantly lower healthcare costs, saving up to an estimated $895 million a year to healthcare. bioAffinity, symbol BIAF on the NASDAQ.
The global market for AI-driven smart city solutions is expected to reach $11 trillion by 2030. Now, Gorilla Technology, NASDAQ symbol GRRR, has emerged as a leader in AI solutions for smart cities. 29 patents, a $1 billion sales pipeline, 220% revenue growth in the first half of 2024. Recently announced $6 million share buyback program, over $40 million in cash reserves. Gorilla Technology Group, GRRR on the NASDAQ.